So from time to time, I get comments where people will say that they watch videos like mine or other content creators that they enjoy and that they'll never be able to make videos like them or they'll never be able to get a following like they have. If you think this way, you're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why. And real quick, before we move on, a quick word from our sponsor, Skillshare. You're gonna wanna stick around for this. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. Explore classes in everything from filmmaking, making videos on your phone, or even graphic design so you can make better thumbnails and more. Skillshare's premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes from experts in various fields to help you gain the skills that you need to make it on YouTube. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. So far, I've taken Sarah Dietschy's class on vlogging, and I just finished a really informative course on iPhone videography so that I can make better videos with my phone. As you can see, this is perfect for polishing up your video making skill set. You can improve your skills now with a 2-month free trial of Skillshare Premium by clicking the link in the description below this video. When people are on YouTube watching videos, just clicking around, watching random stuff, they're usually watching successful YouTubers because successful YouTubers have already went through the process of learning how to do all the YouTube stuff. In other words, they've learned how to get a good response through all the stuff that they do. They make effective thumbnails and titles that you want to click on. The videos look good, how they communicate in the videos, all that stuff. It's already polished because they've been doing it for a while. And because they're good at it, YouTube suggests their content to you because YouTube thinks that you are going to be most likely to watch that content at that particular time. But here's the thing. You see videos after they've already been polished. You see videos after they've been edited, after the audio has been processed, after all of the mistakes and mess ups that people have, after all of that stuff has been cut out. However, when it comes to your own content, when you're actually the person in front of the camera and you're there by yourself in whatever room it is that you record in, you actually get to see in real time all of the mistakes that you make, and you get to have all of those internal things like, oh my gosh, why am I messing this up so much? And that can also cause thoughts like, well, I'm messing this up so much, I'm not good at this, I suck, I'm never gonna be good at this. But again, you're wrong. Here's the reality. If it's not for video editing, if it's not for learning how to do this stuff over time, we all suck. Every content creator that you watch, they suck. They cut out so much stuff from their videos and they edit everything in a certain way to make it a very good product at the end. And by product, I simply mean a video that you would want to watch, a video that when people come into that video, that they say, hey, this is good. This is something that I dig. This is something that's going to hold my attention for a longer period of time. And I know that people also look at the cameras and how things are lit and all of that, and they look at it, you know, if you're just coming into this, you might not even know how this process works. How do you get an image to look this way? But that's another one of those things that you can do, that you can figure out, because the truth is, every content creator that you've ever seen, all the big channels that you watch, the very first videos that they made were not as good as the videos that they're making now, the videos that you see all the time. We've all made tons of mistakes. We've all put out content that's bombed. We've all made videos that just suck in general, to where it's like we thought, hey, this is gonna be great, but then they suck. But anyways, here's what I'm trying to tell you is that when it comes to creating content, when it comes to getting results here on YouTube, in a lot of cases, it's simply just the amount of time, right? Like maybe you just haven't been doing it for long enough. And because of that, you think internally, you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I suck at this. I'm no good at this. Nobody's watching my stuff, or I can't make my stuff look as good as this person. And because of that, you're creating all this inner turmoil when it can simply be that you just haven't made enough videos yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that your stuff is awesome, because it might not be, and you need to have the self-awareness to look at your content and say, is this good? If the answer is no, and you think that it can be better, then of course you have to start learning to develop the skills to make it better. But in a lot of cases, that comes with the time that I'm talking about in terms of just making more content, because the more content that you make, the better off that you're going to be, or the more you're going to understand how to make good content. And in reality, it can take time. Sometimes it's a lot more time than we want it to take. Other times people can make those adjustments really fast and then they can, get some nice momentum going. But sometimes it just takes time. I mean, right now, when you're watching my content, if you are having thoughts like that, some things that I want you to consider. The very first is that I've made over 500 videos. So not all of them are on this channel, but I've made through this channel collaborations, through my other channel that I have. Like I've made over 500 YouTube videos. And that's why when you look at my videos, you think that they're good because I've made over 500 videos. So of course I'm gonna learn a ton over that time. Let me tell you a story. I was making videos for a while. I had maybe, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers at the time. And this guy came into my comments and he was like, hey man, all this ghosting that's going on in your videos, like basically what that means is like if I would move my hand or because I bounce around a lot, like what would happen is there would be like little trails that would follow me around. If you look at some of my old content, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, this guy was telling me this in my content and he was just telling me basically how bad my videos sucked. And the funny thing is I read that comment and I was like, oh my gosh, it's pretty bad. I mean, it made me feel bad. But you know, when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, what is he talking about? Because he told me they sucked, but then he also gave me a fix and said, hey, if you do this, then it'll make that go away. So what happened at that moment is just by reading that comment and saying, okay, well, this guy's saying that my stuff sucks and that I have, you know, ghosting and all this weird stuff going on with my content, like just by reading that comment and taking that as he's straight up telling me my videos suck, but he's also telling me how to fix it. And then basically that made it to where I was able to just change one setting in my editing software. And then that whole thing went away, which helped me make better content. Now, keep in mind, I was like probably 70 or 80 videos deep at this point and before he actually came in and said that. So I had been putting out all of this content with this error in it and this is the part that I really want you to understand. I was putting out content with all of these errors in it that I thought in my brain with the knowledge that I had at the time, the knowledge in my brain looking at it saying like, hey, yeah, this is a good video. This looks great. Everything looks great because I didn't know to look for what he told me that he could see. Now I know that probably got a little confusing on the he told me thing, whatever, but basically the idea is that with the knowledge that I had at the time and the experience that I had at the time, he could see something clear as day that I couldn't see, and that was because he had made a lot more videos than me. But the reason that I'm telling you that story is because like if you're just getting started and you're just starting to make content for YouTube, let's say you've got 50 videos or 100 videos or 2 videos on your channel and you're looking at all of these other channels on YouTube, all the ones that they're suggesting to you, and you're like, man, why does their stuff look like this and my stuff looks like this? It could simply be that, again, you just haven't made enough videos yet, which also means that there's probably just more stuff that you need to learn in order to be able to make your video content look like you have in your head that it should look like. Another thing also that comes along with this in terms of looking at your stuff and thinking that it sucks and it not really sucking, it's just that you haven't, you know, gotten that far along in the process yet, is before I started on YouTube, I actually did graphic design for a long time. And because of that, that gave me tons and tons of experience on how to make stuff look awesome. So when I make thumbnails, I know the colors to use. I know how to frame things. I know how to use text. I know when the text should be a bigger size and when it should be a smaller size based on how it balances out the image. Like I can see all of that stuff because I spent a while doing graphic design. Where in your case, the reason that I'm telling you that is because if you don't have that experience, let's say that you work another type of job that doesn't require that sort of thing, then in that particular case, you just might not be able to see yet what looks good, so to speak. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can't see what looks good or that you can't tell if something is good or not, but if you haven't developed the skills yet in order to make something that pops, then in that particular case, then you could be lacking in terms of the ability to get people to click on a thumbnail just because you haven't learned the process yet of how to actually frame your thumbnails up in order to actually draw attention to them or lead somebody's eye through what it is that they're seeing on your thumbnail. Which doesn't mean that you can't, doesn't mean that you suck. It simply means that there's just more to learn, that you just have more videos that you have to watch, more tutorials that you have to watch to learn how to put that sort of thing together. But the fact is, for this part of it, before we move into the next part, the fact is, like, if you don't have those skills yet, if you haven't developed those skills or you haven't had previous training on how to do like different aspects of this, then of course, right, you're going to have that learning curve that you're going to have to go through. So don't be discouraged by it. Just embrace that learning curve and say, you know what, my thumbnails aren't as good as I would want them to be. So what do I have to learn in order to make my thumbnails better? And then go through the process of learning that. If you're not presenting the way that you would want, then you have to say, okay, well, I'm not presenting the way that I want. So what do I have to learn in order to present the way that I want, and so on. But basically the idea is you have to develop those skills. And the same thing applies, you know, with like your stats and everything else, because I get a lot of comments where people are like, hey, I don't even know how to read my stats, or hey, what's wrong with my channel? I get tons of comments like that where people are like, hey, what's wrong with my channel? Will you look at my channel and tell me what I'm doing wrong? I understand that you want somebody to look at your channel and tell you what you're doing wrong, but the truth is you might not be doing anything wrong. Maybe, again, you just haven't spent enough time. I mean, unfortunately, I can't take the time and look at everybody's channel that asked me to look at their channel because, you know, I have stuff that I have to do also. But, you know, it's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong. It's just maybe that you haven't been doing it for long enough. And the funny thing about that particular comment when people are wanting me to look at their channels is in a lot of cases, those channels only have a handful of videos, like they're just getting started. So because of that, it's not, again, it's not that you're doing something wrong. It's just that you're just getting started, which is fine. But it's important for you to know that, you know, we all start at zero. We all have to go through that learning curve of learning how to do all this stuff. And just because you see other content creators and their stuff might look better than yours, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're never going to be able to get there, that you can't do it or that you can't figure it out. I mean, we all start not knowing how to read stats. We all start not knowing how to edit videos. We all start not knowing how to do, you know, a bunch of different aspects of this stuff. And as new content creators, like if you're just getting started, there's also expectation issues to where in your brain, you might be thinking like, hey, I'm going to publish a video and get a bunch of views on it. And when that doesn't happen, you take a self-esteem hit. And I just want to tell you that that's normal because you haven't learned how YouTube works yet. You haven't learned how to get that response yet. It's not you. It's not that you're doing something bad, or it's not that you as a person are insufficient. It's just that you haven't developed the skills yet, or you just don't have the experience yet in order to get the results that you're after. That you don't have the experience to get the results that you're after yet. But here's the thing that I want you to understand over everything else that I've said in this video. Just because a channel is big doesn't necessarily mean that they know all the stuff. Just because a channel is small doesn't mean that they don't know all of the stuff, right? What I'm trying to express here is that where you are in the journey, the things that you may see or may be aware of or not aware of at this point in time doesn't mean that you suck or that you are not good at it or that you won't ever be good at it. It simply means that you just have a little bit further to go in order to develop the things that you need to develop in order to make it all work out for you. Things might not happen as fast as you would like them to. Things might not grow as fast, or, you know, you might not be able to improve your camera that you're using, for example, as fast. But with phones these days, you don't even have to, right? Like this right here, right? I just got this Osmo, right? This thing's like, I think it was like $300. And like this thing makes amazing videos. Not sponsored, by the way. But, you know, something like this is all you need. This and a microphone and the attachment for it to plug the microphone in. Like this is all you need. This or your mobile phone, and you're good to go. You're off to the races, so to speak. You don't have to have the best camera. You don't have to have, I mean, this isn't the best camera. This camera here is just a camera that's good enough, right? It gives good quality picture. This microphone gives good enough quality audio to where we can put together a decent product that you can enjoy, instead of it being, you know, like a Red camera or something like that. Like this is it's an 80D. It's a nice camera, but it's not the best camera that you can get. And you don't need the best camera that you can get either. You just need something that's going to be good enough, and you need to learn how to light your videos. You need to learn how to get good audio by using a microphone. You need to learn how to process your audio using Adobe Audition or what's the other one? Audacity, I think it is. Yeah, Audacity, which is free. You know, learn how to use that to process your audio, to make your audio sound better. Learn how to light your videos. Learn how to edit your videos and color correct your videos to make everything look good and sound good. And doing that, learning that stuff is going to help you make better content. If you want to make awesome content, you can. If you want to grow a big following, you can. If you want to share whatever message that you have that can impact the lives of other people, you can. And you don't suck. You just have to take the time. If your stuff isn't up to par as much as you would like it to be, you just have to take the time to go through the process to learn how to get things up to the quality that you want. It's not necessarily what other people want, or, you know, how other people are perceiving it. I mean, that does matter with visual authority and all of that. But really, you know, if you're making good content that adds value to people, it's quality in that way. It's quality in value, not necessarily in optics. Then in that particular case, like, you're already off to a great start. Value trumps everything. It trumps an awesome camera. If you have an awesome camera, but you don't know how to use it, or the content that you're putting out isn't adding value to people, then it sucks, right? Then in that particular case, that camera is not going to do you any good, because it might look amazing, but it sucks because you're not adding any value to other people. But if you're making videos on your phone and you're adding value to other people with the videos that you're just making on your phone, you know, running in selfie mode on your phone, that's fine. That's better than content that doesn't add value to people that's on an awesome camera. But anyway, I'm getting a bit rambly, but what I want to tell you is that you don't suck. The content that you're making, it might need to improve. It might actually be, you know, not that great of content right now, but it's not because you suck. It's just because you just haven't learned how to make it good yet. Or you might have awesome content right now, but you just haven't went through the process of putting out enough of it to get the results that you're actually wanting to get in return. So hang in there. You can do it. You'll be fine. You don't suck. Try not to get frustrated because we all go through this process. We all go through these things of saying, why isn't this going as fast as I want? Why isn't, you know, this particular thing working? Or I figured this would be okay, but it's not. You know, why did my viewers not respond to this particular thing or whatever? And again, I'm getting ranty, I know, but the idea here is I just want to let you know that you are not, like I said before, you are not insufficient. You can do this and you can do it well. You just have to develop the skills in order to get everything to work out for you the way that you want. Now, if you want to learn other things that you can do to get views and subscribers, click into this playlist right here. There's some videos in there, especially for you that is watching this video right now. So go and check those out right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Squishy ball.